Hey everyone, how are you guys doing this Wednesday evening? It is hashtag X Melissa Wednesday, and today we are talking about how to host the best epic ever wedding rehearsal. So super excited, but do me a favor. Can you please invite and share your people who you know are getting married and need a little help and guidance, whether it's going to be with wedding planning and preparation for that, or wedding rehearsals. And there's a lot of questions that people still kind of have to this day where we kind of already know what the traditional is, but not everybody knows what the traditional things that should happen for a wedding rehearsal. So do me a favor, invite and share, as I'm going to do the same and start my watch party. And if you are joining in for the first time, welcome. My name is Melissa Jakes. I am CEO and founder of Rescue Event Planning, also known as Olivia Pope of Live Events. And this is Ask Melissa Wednesday. So let's get it started. Okay. Founder of Rescue Event Planning, also known as Olivia. And I am going to watch party. Okay. All right, perfect. So, all right, you are starting to, hey, thank you so much for watching from New Orleans. I hope the weather is so much better than we have here in Maryland. Thanks for joining me. So, hey, Denise, thanks for joining. Okay. So I have your comments here, and if you're my watch party, I got your comments there. Perfect. So how to plan the perfect wedding planning, the wedding rehearsal dinner. And so here's a couple of things, right? Traditionally, it is the bride's father that pays for the wedding, and then the groom's parents pays or host the rehearsal dinner. Now, you guys, we are in 2019 where tradition sometimes just goes right out the window. So don't make that feel like you must follow those guidelines. That is tradition. If you want to be traditional, by all means, do so. And so that is what traditionally happens. But now these days, a lot of people say the parents will put it on. I've even had a bride where the maid of honor hosted at the wedding dinner because most of her family was from out of town, and she's getting married and she was getting married in DC, but she's traditionally from like New York. So her closest friend here in the DMV area had her wedding rehearsal at her home. So tradition, don't feel like you're so stuck in that. Okay, anybody can host. So when you're talking about hosting, think of location. You don't want it to be too far from your wedding rehearsal. And then you got to remember, you don't want to be too far from where you're going to be getting dressed the next day or where you're going to be sleeping that night. Make it somewhere that's comparable. I know some cities, things can be closer, some things can't be, but make sure for your location that you're being very comparable and thinking of everybody, because if people are driving and they're new in the area, they may not know how to get to everything. So be mindful of that. Who was the rehearsal for? So we get those questions like, do I send a rehearsal out to everyone? So mainly rehearsal dinner is for those who rehearse the wedding. So that's like your bridal party, your pastor, priest, the flower girls, the ring bearers, your parents, his parents, if you're gonna have godparents involved in the wedding, or grandparents, that is something as well where they attend for the rehearsal dinner. In addition to that, if you're inside your bridal party, let's say you have a couple people who are single, if their spouse is coming to the wedding, then, and they're not like a part of your bridal party, then they're invited as well. Or girlfriend, boyfriend. Some people have rules on that. They said you cannot bring your girlfriend or boyfriend. I only allow spouses or fiancés. Again, that's tradition. Your rules are your rules. Don't feel boxed in it. But most people do that because when their girlfriend or boyfriend breaks up, then you're like, you had this plus one. Can I bring somebody else? And it might be somebody that you didn't even agree with, or, you know, you didn't know who the person is, so you feel kind of uncomfortable. So that's why people have that fiance wife, husband rule there. So you also think about them. If you have a male who's going to be like the best man, but his wife is not a part of your bridal party, they then get invited to the rehearsal dinner, right? So depending on how big your bridal party is how big this rehearsal dinner could be. Make a guest list. I will help you narrow down that, folks, for whoever is hosting. And when you're hosting, either you're catering or you're having you're cooking food, and that's when the family kind of comes together and they cook the favorite dishes of the bride and groom. So that's like their last favorite meal that they can have from their parents or their family before you start hosting your own meals to invite your family over, right? So that is definitely one thing to do. So great. I'm love the questions. Thank you so much. I'm having a destination wedding. How does that work too? So this is perfect, right? At the destination weddings, you can ask with the vendor, do they have a space? Sometimes, usually a lot of destination weddings have like this meet or greet party that can act as a rehearsal dinner for everybody who's coming. So everybody who you're inviting, you can do that, or you can still keep it to just your bridal party, the parents, people who are involved in the actual wedding ceremony. So I know a lot of resorts do that. They have you can add on a welcome party because you're going to rehearse it there at the destination. So that is definitely the best thing to do there. If you don't have enough time to do the rehearsal dinner when you arrive, you could do it prior to your leave, so almost like a bon voyage dinner. And you can have that before you guys leave the States or the country. So that is definitely a way to do that. Right, I feel like that's no drama allowed. Absolutely, no drama allowed when you have these rehearsal dinners. And really, you guys, that's like the last fun stuff before you're together with your person for the rest of your life, prayerfully, right? So it is a fun time, and you guys not really being involved, as far as when I say you guys, like the bride and the groom, bride, groom, whichever, that is a time where you guys should be laughing, enjoying, and taking those moments. The host should be hosting and not really bogging you down with that. The things you do need to worry about as the couple is about to get married is gifts. That's where you give your attendant gifts. And so some ideas for your bridesmaids, you can do the earrings, you can do a bracelet, you can do a necklace that they're going to also wear for the wedding day. That's traditionally stuff. You do something that they wear for the wedding day. For guys, it used to be the ties, or you have the lapels. I've seen the socks now where they kind of have those crazy funny socks, but you can take a really nice photo of the guys lifting up their trousers, and they all have those matching crazy socks, but it matches with the color scheme. Those look really good. I had a couple who did that, and every time I look at their pictures, I'm I just love seeing the guys do that. So those are different ideas for your attendants. Also, don't forget about your parents, your godparents if they're involved, the flower girl, the ring bearer. You give them something as well. I'm big on giving gifts that can be useful, not a picture frame. Everybody got a picture frame. Think of something that people will use. For the kids, you can do embroidery lunch boxes because they're in school, so they can use that, and it will have their name on it. Or a book bag that has their name on it, or something that they really like, if it's Doc McStuffins. And then inside the book bag, you can have little goodies like coloring book, something to keep them busy during the wedding reception. Some people do that as well, a little basket, or put it in the book bag or some type of bag with their name on it, with goodies that they can use at the reception so they're not bored. If you're having an adult only reception and those are the only kids there, or a small amount of kids, that is a great way too. But that is given at the rehearsal as well. And so that's definitely another thing that you do at the rehearsal dinner. And it's really supposed to be fun. When it comes to drinks, you can do alcohol if you like. You cannot. Again, that's not a rule. You're not trying to get slammer either. So if you're going to do alcohol, make sure it's limited because you're still getting ready for the day, the big day. And making sure you have somebody to give those last minute announcements. That's really where an event planner comes in, or wedding day coordinator. That's where they come in to say, hey, family, this was great. What time should we be arriving at the hotel? What time does the first makeup artist come? Who's the first in the chair? Like, those are those last minute announcements that shouldn't come for the bride or groom, bride. It should really come from the coordinator and having that person there, or the event planner, so that they can move the crowd and making sure that you guys don't stay too long at the rehearsal dinner. You guys don't get too slammered at the rehearsal dinner. And everything is wrapped up. That's also like that last little meeting that the wedding planner or event planner can have with the bride about those like last minute things. Do I have everything? Do you have bobby pins? Where's your overnight bag? All those things, he or she would definitely make sure that you're straight and prepared, right? Okay, we talked about food. Oh, food. So for food, think of something like, I'm in the Maryland area, and so we're big on blue crabs, right? So if you're hosting something in this area, you want to make sure that you have something that talks about your hometown. The other thing we also have is a sauce called mumbo sauce for chicken wings, and it's really like fried chicken wings that you have, that you get from like the carryout from a Chinese or Asian store. So the mumbo sauce goes with that, but that's known to like the DMV, the DC area. So do a play of like, you're from New Orleans, you have gumbo, something where your guests are coming out of town and that's a staple of the hometown. Make sure you have something like that. Again, you can still have like your favorite foods that you like, but it's really not it's your party, but it's really not for you. It's also about your guests. And you want to make sure it's something that everybody can eat. So make sure you do have something that is a staple of what is your state known for. So for Maryland, blue crabs. So that's not getting too messy. You can do crab balls, a small little crab cake, or like chips and dip, or what they have. They have crab chips too, if you want to just kind of do this like appetizers, whichever. But have something staple for your home state to kind of say, welcome to the area. We're so excited for you to be here. So that's definitely something to make sure you have. Okay, right. I have a necklace for the bridesmaids, but that's a great idea for the kids. Absolutely. And don't forget about the guys. Don't forget about the guys and your parents. You know, my parents still use their gifts that we got. Actually, both sides, my in-laws and my parents, still use their gifts that we got them. And we've been married almost 7 years. I believe that's right, if I did the math real quick. 7 years. And so, again, doing something that's useful for gifts is always a great way to go. Perfect. Oh, okay. Crawfish. Oh, New Orleans, yes, crawfish, duh, right? I'm thinking gumbo. Crawfish, yes. Or the beignets. Oh my gosh, New Orleans. I need to get over there. The beignets are awesome. That would be an awesome dessert to have. And the bread pudding too. Can't forget about that. So timing, make sure it's not too late. Like, rehearsals should not take no more than an hour. Please, you guys, no more than an hour. Let's not drag out the rehearsal. That's where the event planner is there for. That's what the wedding coordinator is there for, to make sure you already know how you want people to walk down the aisle. You talk that over with your event planner way prior to the actual rehearsal day. So you already know, I want 2 and 2 walking down the aisle, or I want the groomsmen to walk up on the side, the bridesmaids come down, or they meet in the middle, they do a little twirl, and they keep going. However you want it. You've already talked that out with your event planner. That way, the day of the rehearsal, she is orchestrating. It's a big orchestra happening. This is what's going to happen, and this is how it's going to go. No room for changes. If you start changing as the bride or groom in front of all your other attendees and your bridesmaids, that will give them the power to feel like they can insert their idea into your head, and you're already overwhelmed. And then that derails the event planner being the person of power to everybody else has their opinion. Now they're going to overtake how you wanted this whole vision to happen. And it's not about them. It is how you want your bridesmaids, your groomsmen to walk down the aisle, your flower girls, ring bearers, all of that. It's your show. You make sure you let the event planner know how you want to do it. So when the day comes, she can orchestrate it and run it very well and timely, because 45 minutes to an hour is it. After you get to an hour and a half, at that point, we're doing a play. We're not really, it's just walking down the aisle, and not trying to minimize it, but you are just walking down the aisle. The main thing to focus on is the exchange of the father to the groom and how you do that. Does dad lift the veil up partially and give a kiss and then put the veil down? Is dad taking the veil all the way over? You'll be so surprised how dads mess that up. Make sure you practice that. Take the veil all the way over. Don't leave it halfway. So when you're in the picture, you see like the veil halfway there. So make sure you take it all the way over. And so those are just small little things, right? But make sure you talk this through your event planner, exactly what you want from top to bottom. Of course, the pastor, priest, rabbi, however it goes, will have their traditional things that they do on whatever religion you might be to do the wedding. And so they'll have their piece. Practice the unity candle. Are you doing the candle? Are you doing the sand? Are you doing the 3 chords? Are you doing a memory box? There's so many different things you can do now. Make sure you have that in play, have the items there to actually practice it. And then if you're going to have people to read a poem or scripture in between things, the readers need to be there too. And they also get invited to the rehearsal dinner. Anybody who takes a play to the ceremony gets invited to the rehearsal dinner. So make sure all of that is mapped out with your event planner. That way you can stay on time between 45 minutes and an hour. After that, your rehearsal dinner should be after that. Or some people have rehearsal dinner before that, depending on your time zone that you're in, and the timing that you had, and with certain religions. So that is definitely something to think about. Okay, so we talked about location, we talked about who comes, timing, we talked about food, we talked about rehearsal items that should be presented, and then make sure you do your thank yous. Definitely do your thank yous, and take that time to thank them, because being a bridesmaid and a groomsman is not cheap. They have to pay for their outfits and probably pay for makeup and hair and nails. And for the little ones, parents have to get involved and all of that stuff. So definitely thank them for their service and being a part of your special day. And then you call it a night. And you're not there all night, and you call it a night so that you can prepare for the next day. So those are a couple of things that you can do to make sure you have the perfect wedding rehearsal, drama-free, good food, good laughs, good gifts, and you're preparing for the big day, right? So I mentioned a couple of things here, but I also have a downloadable list that you can get. All you have to do is go to melissajakes.com, press subscribe, and you will automatically get enrolled into my listserv, where then you'll be able to download your free guide of how to plan a wedding rehearsal. And if you have problems, please send me a message, but it should be pretty straightforward of getting your free guide for sure. Let's see, we have any questions? Any more questions on the floor? And it doesn't have to be related just to wedding rehearsals. It could be about something else. Okay. I'm very sentimental, so I have sentimental surprises for them. Yes, I love it because you're thinking through it. Awesome. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for all the good advice. This is my first time watching you. Thank you so much for watching from New Orleans. Girl, you got to send me some beignets. Oh, thank you so much. And I really hope, when is your wedding? I hope you have a great destination wedding. And tell me where you're going, so I can feel like I'm there too. Putting my toes in the sand if you're going tropical, or if you're going to like Paris, or Scotland. I love to see Scotland weddings because it just brings that tradition together. Absolutely. So you guys, let me know if you have any more questions. If you have any thoughts of as you're planning your wedding, or maybe you are the host and you're hosting the wedding rehearsal and you're not quite sure how to go about certain things. Well, you pay for everything, so yes, 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 yes. I know. It's tradition, tradition gets out the way. Sometimes you're not, um, not everybody's blessed and lucky to have everything paid for their wedding. And some people are. And so some people save up for it. So I say, when you start having your children, start saving up. I already told my husband, save up for her wedding. Or at least just saving in total. And if she's like, yeah, I want to use it for my wedding, or I don't, then she has that choice because we saved it for her. But mainly for a wedding. When that time comes, a long time from now. All right, cool, you guys. Yes, Jamaica. That's an awesome place to get married. And it's June 15th. Great, 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 great. I'm so excited for you. My parents are actually from Jamaica, so you have a good time. My aunt, well, while you're there, I'm going to pitch my aunt's place. Oh man, I forgot the name so fast. Okay, it's across from Grotto's Cave in St. Anne's. It's close to, as like you're heading to Dunn's River Fall, but it's a place right across from Grotto's Cave. Great food, great food. And you eat outside, and it's just great. I mean, Jamaica totally is awesome, but that's also an awesome place to eat. And you can say, hey, I saw your niece online and she sent us there. They'll know exactly if they're even there. Sometimes they're not there, but I'll definitely make sure around the 15th I let her know. But yeah, definitely have a great time. And I know Jamaica definitely does those rehearsal dinners or like meet and greet type of welcoming parties. So definitely ask them about that to see if you can get it included in your package. Or even if you're like able to get drink tickets, that might be an idea. If you can say, we'll pay for 2 drink tickets per person, and then they pay for like their own food. And because you're on a resort, you might just say, hey, we're all going to meet by the bar, or we're all going to meet at this restaurant to eat together. You could definitely do that. But the resort should definitely be able to help you make those reservations if you're going to have like an all-inclusive resort. All right, we have another question on the floor. I have heard it said that the bride doesn't walk down the aisle during rehearsal. What do you think? Yeah, so that is I would say that's tradition. Traditionally, the bride does not walk down the aisle during rehearsal because it's bad luck for her to walk down. You have somebody in place. Honestly, you guys, it just depends on you. My thoughts, I didn't do it because my coordinator wouldn't allow me. And I was focused on something else too. I was making sure some other things were getting done. But I do have brides who really do want to do it. And I'm not going to stop them if that's what they want to practice. Kind of almost in seeing that moment happen in front of their eyes before it really does happen. So traditionally, right, the bride does not walk down the aisle because it's bad luck. And then you have somebody who stands in. But for my thoughts, is whatever you want to do. I want my bride to be happy. And so she wants to practice. Because you might have some shoes that you need to practice in if you're going to be wearing high heels. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining. This was awesome. Please leave some comments. Let me know if you have anything else that you have questions on. I'm here every Wednesday, and I totally enjoy spending this time with you guys and giving event planning tips. Make sure you go to melissajakes.com, subscribe for the list so you can get your free download. And this is not the only free thing that I give. There's some other checklists and all that stuff for your events that you can download. So again, my name is Melissa Jakes. I am CEO and founder of Rescue Event Planning, also known as Olivia Pope of Live Events. And thank you for joining for tonight. Have a good evening. Bye.